So now we will see optional and required pseudo class in CSS. So guys, basically we will see how to style the HTML form elements using the optional and the required pseudo class. So let us move to the VS Code over here, and simply I'm going to remove the previous lines that we had written in the HTML and the CSS files over here. Now guys, what we will do is, first of all, we will define the div tag with the class container, inside which we are going to have the form over here. So before having the form, we will have the header tag, that is the h2 tag, and we will say field below form in this case as a heading. Now guys, after this we are going to have the form tag over here, and we will have the id as form in this case, and simply we are going to have three fields over here. First of all, we will have the username field, so we will have input colon text over here. So basically it is the input tag with the type text in this case, and we will have the name as username and id as the username value. Apart from this, we will also have the placeholder attribute, and we will say enter username. So guys, basically this is the text that will be displayed by default as a placeholder, and then we will make this field as required so that user has to fill this particular field in this case. And after this, we are going to have certain line breaks over here so that the next input is displayed on the next line. So I'm going to copy paste this line of code, and this time we are going to have password as the text field, and again we are going to have the id as password, and we will say enter password over here, and it is again a required field in this case. And instead of having the type equal to text, we will say the type is equal to password over here. And then guys, apart from this, we will have the email field as well. So again, we will have the type as email over here, and we will set the name and the id as the email values, and we will say enter email in this case, which is not required over here. So we will remove the required attribute from this particular input tag. So guys, basically we are going to provide the CSS properties with the help of this required or the optional attribute over here. So whatever fields we have marked as required will be provided a set of CSS properties, and the other fields which are by default optional, which means user is not required to provide the data inside those optional fields, such as the email field over here, those will be having the set of other CSS properties. And then apart from this, we will also have two buttons over here. The first button will be the submit button in this case. So we will have the input type is equal to submit, and the value will be submit over here, and also we will set the id as submit in this case. And then apart from this, we will also have another button which will have the value as clear over here. So guys, this is simply for the displaying purpose. We are going to have two buttons, that is submit and clear, inside the form. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page on the browser. So as you can see, this is the way the form is displayed over here. We have the heading, first of all, field below form over here. So we need to change this keyword to below form in this case. So we have field below form as the header over here, and then we have the three fields, that is username, password and the email fields over here. Let us have certain background color for the container class as well in this case. So what we will do is, we will copy this class name over here, and inside the style.css file we will have the container class name. And what we will do is, let's say we have the background color as aqua color over here. Also we will provide the padding of, let's say, 20 pixels in this case. Let me just save this file now and try reloading this page. So as you can see, this is the container that is having the background color over here. Now guys, we will reduce the width of the container to the width of these particular text boxes. So what we can do is, simply we can set the width, it is equal to min content over here. Let me just save this file now and try reloading this page. So as you can see, now the width is set in such a way that it is only taking up the required space over here. Apart from this, we also want to center align this particular container. So what we will do is, simply we can provide margin, it is equal to auto over here. So as far as horizontal alignment is concerned, we are getting the div tag at the center of the screen over here. Now guys, how we can provide the CSS properties to these required and the optional attributes that are present inside the form? So simply what we have to do is, we have to provide the input tag, and then we can use the pseudo class over here. So let's say first of all, we want to provide certain CSS properties to these required fields that are username and password. So over here inside the style.css file, we will say input tag followed by colon, and then simply we can say the required keyword. So guys, this is the way that we can use the pseudo classes over here. So basically we need to provide the single single colon and then the name of the pseudo class. So in this case, it is the required pseudo class that we are using, and whatever CSS properties that we will be including inside this required pseudo class will be applied to all those fields that are marked as required over here inside the form. So guys, let us check that as well. So what we will do is, first of all, we will provide the padding of 5 pixels over here. Let me just save this file now. You will notice some kind of spacing inside these username and the password text boxes. So when we reload this page, as you can see, there is extra space that is added over here. Apart from this, we will also provide certain background color so that we can identify the changes that are happening inside those two text boxes, that is username and password. So what we will do is, we will set the background color as green over here, and let us change the green color to some lighter version of green color over here. So we have this very light green color in this case with the help of the RGB values. Let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, we have the light green background color for these required text boxes over here, that is username and password. Apart from this, we can also have some more CSS properties, that is, let's say we have the border radius of 5 pixels over here. So basically the corners of these text boxes will be having the rounded corner. So this is the 5 pixels border radius that we have applied over here. So in this way, based on your project requirements, you can provide any CSS properties by using the required pseudo class in this case. Now guys, apart from this, the other field, that is enter email, which is the email field over here, is not having the required attribute. So basically by default, it is the optional field inside the form. So guys, what we can do is, simply we can define the input tag followed by colon, and then we can have the pseudo class that is optional over here. So whatever CSS properties that we define inside the optional pseudo class in this case will be applied to all the fields that are marked as optional or not having the required attribute. So let us provide the same CSS properties in this case, that is padding is equal to 5 pixels and border radius is equal to 5 pixels, but this time we are going to change the background color. So we will have the version of the red color over here as the background color. So let me just change the red color to some lighter version of this red color in this case. So as you can see, this is the RGB value that we have set over here. Let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, we have the lighter version of the red color to this field, which is not marked as required, but it is the optional field in this case. Guys, if you notice, we also have this red color to this submit and the clear button. So what we can do is, we can provide the CSS properties of username and password to this submit button by using the ID of the submit button. So what is the ID of this button? It is submit in this case. So what we will do is, the CSS properties for the required fields are present over here. So simply we are going to provide comma, and then we will provide the hash character followed by the ID of the input button, that is submit in this case. So guys, basically these CSS properties will be applied to the submit button as well as the fields that are marked as required over here, and in this way we can also provide the multiple CSS selectors. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. As you can see, the same CSS selectors that are provided to the required fields are now provided to the submit button as well, and the clear button can have the CSS property that is provided to the optional field over here. So guys, in this way you can use the required and the optional pseudo classes over here, and based on your project requirements you can provide any of the CSS properties inside these pseudo classes. So guys, comment in the comment section below whether you have learned something out of this video. Please make sure that you like this video so that it reaches to more people, and subscribe to this channel so that you get the notifications on upcoming videos as well. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, stay tuned.